Hey everyone, welcome back to GrapplTech, your go-to place for mastering tech skills. I am Ishwan Nagraj, and today we are diving into Penpot, an amazing tool for designers. In this video, we will talk about why layout is everything and how proper alignment can make or break your design. We will also cover the powerful align tools in Penpot and see them in action and how they can help you create professional and polished layouts. Let's start with the basics. Layout. In design, layout is everything. So, a good layout helps guide the viewer's eye, emphasizes important elements, and creates a balanced visual experience. But a bad layout, it leads to confusion and can turn off your audience instantly. Okay, so think about a website you have visited that was hard to navigate. Maybe the buttons were all over the place or text wasn't aligned properly. Compare that to a website with a clean, organized layout. Which one made you want to stay longer? That's the power of a good layout. Okay, so in this world of design, a well crafted layout is a cornerstone of an effective and visually appealing project. So, understanding and mastering the key principles of layout, like we have alignment, grid systems, visual hierarchy, optical illusions, and proximity. These can transform your designs from good to great, and you as a developer can get transformed from a good designer to a better designer. And let's explore these principles with basic real world examples. First, and the first and most important principle is alignment. So, alignment is the foundation of a strong layout. It ensures that your elements are connected visually, making your design look cleaner and more organized. Just think of a magazine or a brochure. Notice how the text and images and some other elements which are aligned properly. They are not randomly placed. There is a reason behind every position. So even in everyday items like business cards or you can find some flyers of the movies. Okay, so a proper alignment creates a professional look. So you can consider one more example as well. Like think of a neatly arranged bookshelf where all the books are perfectly aligned. It's easier to find what you need and looks more pleasing if those books are organized properly and if those books are arranged properly. So alignment ensures that your design elements are visually connected and organized. Okay, let's see this example, a basic example. Just consider this as a website template. Okay, and hero section where you can find the navbar with menu elements, and you can find this main image in the hero section and some text on the right side with two buttons below it. Okay, and we have drawn some vertical lines so that we can see the difference, like we can see how badly they are aligned. Okay, you can see more number of vertical lines and the spacing is not done properly, and this looks somewhat like it gives a kind of bad impression on the website. Okay, whereas if you see this website with just a little bit modification, like this is a previous thing, right? Just by changing the spacing, just by changing the order of the elements, like by changing the position of the elements, we can create a visually appealing and clean design. Okay, so where user can get attracted to it, so you can grab the audience eyes on your website. Okay, and even here you can see the vertical lines and those are making sense. Okay, so just by changing the alignment, just by changing the elements of like position of the elements, you can create a visually appealing website. Okay, so that's about alignment and why alignment is important. You can even think of uh, a room. Consider your own room. When it is messy, even you will feel somewhat unpleasant. Like if you're trying to focus on a thing or if you're trying to learn a new concept, if your room looks messy, if it is messy, you can't learn it. Okay, suppose if all the things in your room are perfectly aligned, if they're organized properly, you'll find some kind of peace. Okay, you'll get that feel of peace and you can start focusing on your things and you can start working with a pleasant mind. Okay, so alignment is a very most important principle when it comes to layout, and mastering layout is very important when you want to become a designer. Now, how can we do this alignment in Penpot? As we have discussed, Penpot is one of the powerful tool in the market. Okay, and that's completely free. Now that we have covered why alignment is crucial, let's see how Penpot makes it easy to achieve perfect alignment with its powerful align tools. And these guys, these Penpot guys, they gave some align tools for us. And these align tool in Penpot helps us to line up objects neatly, making sure they are perfectly straight and positioned exactly where you want them. Okay, and to align objects, you have to just select the object and you can use this align buttons. Let us see this practically. Okay, so and even Penpot also offers tools to distribute your objects evenly, either horizontally or vertically. This is perfect when you're working with multiple elements and want consistent spacing. So let's put everything we have learned into practice. So let me create a simple layout. Yeah, so we have opened Penpot, and here you can see, first let us get a board. Okay, so let us create a board. I'm not worrying about this width and height for present. So this is a random board with random width and height. Okay, so this is just for demo purpose, right? And let us draw a rectangle into it. Okay, now let me draw a rectangle and let us change the color. So as we know, blue is a favorite. Let me add a blue color to it. Now my requirement is, in this board I have to align my object. And what is my object? The rectangle shape. Okay, so I want to align my rectangular shape correctly. Like I can do whatever, like I can move it to the left, I can move it to the right, I can move it to the center. And we have some two axes in your, if you are aware of mathematics, you have x-axis and y-axis, right? In the same way here also you can move your object vertically and even horizontally. Okay, in both the directions you can align this object in both the directions. Suppose, let us forget about these tools which is provided by Penpot at this moment. If I want to do it manually, just click on that object and drag it using your mouse. Okay, you can see a pink line over here. So your object gets snapped to that pink line. Now you can move from left to right horizontally using that pink line. Okay, in the same way in the vertical axis also, your object will get snapped to that pink line. So that is your vertical axis. So if you want to center your object, you can use this both the lines and you can center in this way. But can we have a shortcut? So this is a kind of manual process. It might create some kind of confusion. You might not be able to find the pink line. So do we have any kind of easy way to do this without dragging in this way, without using a mouse in this way? Of course, as we have discussed, we have 6 different tools, align tools in Penpot, so that you can align your object in the horizontal axis and even the vertical axis. Okay, and you can see the first 3 are with respect to horizontal axis. Okay, suppose if I want my object to be aligned to the left, okay, horizontally, remember again x-axis. If you click on this align left, you can see that object gets snapped to the left part. Okay, and one more thing, every alignment is done with respect to this board. Okay, so in this board only you will be able to adjust your object, you will be able to align your object. And in the same way, just click on that object and you can change the alignment. Now I want this element to be in the middle, in the center of this board. What I can do is I can just click on this second tool, align horizontal center. If I click on it, you can see that object got moved to the center according to the horizontal axis. And here we can even move your or align your object to the rightmost part. So you can just click on this third button, which is align right, and you can see that object got snapped to the rightmost part. And this is aligning the object with respect to horizontal axis, that is your x-axis, that is from left to right. Okay, you can move or you can align your object from left to right using these three tools. And you can see one more thing, like you can see other three tools, and this is with respect to vertical axis, that is your y-axis. Okay, so if I want my object to be aligned to the top, so if I want to move this to the top, I can just use this tool, align top. If you click on that, you can see that the object got aligned to the top. Okay, in the same way, if I want it to be in the center according to the vertical axis, I can move it to the center using this tool, align vertical center. In the same way, if I want to move my object to the bottom, okay, so I can just use this sixth tool, which is align bottom. So in this way, you can move your object in these many directions. Okay, so what we have discussed right now is you can move your object in the horizontal axis and even vertical axis as well using this align tools. So that's about your align tools. Okay, and you can even use some kind of key object as well. Like for example, let us consider this rectangle is a key object. Okay, and I have a text over here telling that Penpot is wonderful. Okay, so this is my text. Let us consider if I want to move this particular text into center of this rectangle. Let me move this rectangle here so that you'll not get confused. If I want this text to be exactly in the center of that rectangle, I should not use this way. I want to use this tools. How can I do that? That means you can have a key reference object, a key object. You can consider that object as a reference. In such cases, what you have to do is you have to select that particular element. Like for example, you have to select that particular stuff and text. Okay, now you have selected both the objects, right? One is your key object and the text. Now if you want to center it, I can center it. You can use these tools and you can center your text with respect to this key object, that is your rectangle. Okay, so that's aligning with respect to key object. Now what is the main requirement? As we have discussed, I want it to be in the center with respect to both the axes, that is our horizontal axis and even the vertical axis. Very simple, just select the object and center them in the center using both the tools, align horizontal center and align vertical center. That's it. We have centered our object exactly in the center of the board. Okay, so we are done with this align tools. And now we even have distribute property. So what does this distribute property do? So the distribute tool in Penpot helps to evenly space out items so that they are not too close together or too far apart. It makes sure everything is neatly arranged with equal space in between. So like we have understood about this align tools, right? In the same way, we have distribute also. So Penpot also offers tools to distribute objects evenly, either horizontally or vertically. This is perfect when you're working with multiple elements and want consistent spacing. And remember, it doesn't work when you have a single element. Okay, so you can even see here we have a single element, right? And you can see that two buttons are grayed out, so two buttons are disabled, and that is a distribute tool with respect to horizontal axis and vertical axis. So in order to use those, you should have multiple elements. So I'll just duplicate these elements. Okay, so I have spaced them differently, and now you can see these three elements, these three rectangles are having different spaces between them, but I want them to have equal spaces. I want them to be aligned with equal spaces. Okay, just select the three elements. Okay, and now the width of this selection box will be equally divided with all these three elements. Okay, so among these three elements, like the space, the entire width of the selection box, the width will get calculated equally and divided equally. Okay, so if I want to distribute the spacing between these elements equally, so you can use this distribute horizontal spacing. You can see that before it was disabled, but now it got enabled. And now if you just click on this tool, you can see that the space got equally divided between the three elements. Okay. In the same way, if the elements, if the objects are aligned in the vertical axis, okay, let us consider these are in the vertical axis, and you can see that the distance between them, the space between them is not constant. Okay, it is different, right? So if I want to have equal spaces among these three elements, what I have to do, I have to select these three elements, and I can use something called as distribute vertical spacing, because we are dealing with vertical axis, so we have to distribute the vertical spacing. And now if you just click on this button, you can see that the space got distributed evenly. So that's our distribute button or distribute tool provided by Penpot. Okay, so and there you have it. By understanding the importance of layout and alignment and using Penpot's align tools, you can elevate your design game to a whole new level. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with more tips and tricks from GrapplTech. And as always, keep creating, keep designing. And thanks for watching. Bye bye.